Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Mario Brothers, it's a rare occasion where he's not wearing LSU Pell Saints garb, maybe Green Wave, but he's got Central on. He's the play-by-play voice of Central High School.
Wildcats, baby.
In English.
Yes, sir.
In English for high school. But then as we get more advanced into the college or pro ranks, Mario Brothers does the broadcasts in Spanish for like the Pels, the Saints, LSU, things like that. Si, senor?
Sí, es verdad.
Oh, boy. Now he said 2 Spanish words, and he said them at regular speed in Spanish. But to me, it sounds like Speedy Gonzalez and me no comprende.
Yes, it's the truth, is what I said.
There you go. Mario, you fired up about the next coach for Louisiana State University and Agricultural and Mechanical College?
You know, I can't even lie. Coaching searches are just a very interesting conversation. It's good for radio shows like these. Like, there's so many options. There are so many names out there, some realistic, some not. It's a really fun conversation.
Now, I just use common sense on this, Mario. I didn't get it verified by LSU insiders because it would be hard to get people to verify it.
Uh-huh.
But I was saying Scott Woodward didn't fire Brian Kelly. Scott Woodward said, which is just sort of foolish. He just seems like he's trying to let the public know he's the AD and he makes all the calls. But he said after the Texas A&M loss, I decided to fire Brian Kelly. It's like, you can decide to fire Brian Kelly all day long. You got to get that approved. There's no school president. You're going to have to get it approved probably by the governor. And that Jeff Landry stepped in. And I would say under normal circumstances, if there was a LSU president that Jeff Landry did not appoint, he probably would have tried to butt in and give his 2 cents worth anyway. But I was just like, Scott Woodward did not fire Brian Kelly. He may have agreed. He might have been consulted, but it wasn't his call. His call, like making it all by himself, full autonomy, done, over with. They might say, go get the next volleyball coach. And if they don't, then he has to bring it to them for approval. Not making any autonomous calls. You agree with that?
100%. Scott Woodward might not even be in charge of like his own future right now. Like, there are decisions to be made, I think, with him that can come in the next week or so. So,
well, the Mulkey hire is like a no-brainer. We talked about yesterday. You said it. If things weren't going haywire with her with Baylor, she'd probably still be there. It's just a timing thing, coming home. No brainer.
Yes.
No brainer. And the Jay Johnson hire, that's a grand slam home run, pun intended.
Yes, exactly.
So Mulkey, I give him a half on that. You can't give him like great call. That's just sort of, just fell into his lap and he pounced on it. Good for him. But we're talking about the 3 and 4 sports. Men's basketball, McMahon, no bueno so far.
Nope. 100%.
And you're 0 for 1 with the football coach after 4 years of not winning an SEC championship, not going to the playoffs. So, yeah, Scott Woodward, I think, has been spayed or neutered, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it, man. I mean, he took over right in the midst of LSU winning the national championship in 2019. Obviously, things went sour with Coach O, and everybody blamed him, which is fair. But then the coach after him was, not much better. So, I think it's fair to be critical of Woodward there. Basketball, women's, like you said, has been good, but the men's team, he hasn't done a good job with. Don't like the decision to fire Will Wade, and the coach that he's brought in, has had plenty of time and has shown absolutely nothing.
Could have rehired Will Wade.
Exactly.
Right after McNeese.
Or just hired a better coach. Let's keep it real. Matt McMahon.
Yeah,
we've been really patient. He took over a tough situation.
It's Brian Kelly 2.0.
Yeah, it's been 3 years, and they're like towards the bottom of the SEC. It made zero progress. So he's been good for one sport. A lot of credit for baseball, which might be even better now with Tennessee's coach leaving and coaching in the major leagues. But yeah, I think it would be warranted if they let him go.
As I said, Scott Woodward didn't fire Brian Kelly on his own. I stand by that. No sources, just the vibe of what's going on. It would be irresponsible to allow him to continue to make major decisions like this. Just today, Governor Jeff Landry said LSU athletic director Scott Woodward will not be selecting the head football coach to replace Brian Kelly. Governor Jeff Landry. This is a quote. No, I can tell you now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'd let Donald Trump select him before I'd let him do it. He's literally saying that not only is Scott Woodward not selecting the next head coach, he's basically saying Scott Woodward doesn't know what he's doing. That's essentially what he's saying. Now, when asked who would be picking the coach, Landry replied, the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee and they're going to go find us a coach. The LSU Board of Supervisors are Jeff Landry appointees. They're yes men, and Jeff Landry controls that board. That's what was so ironic about this, how Jeff Landry plays it. He's smart. Last week, the LSU Board of Supervisors votes to raise ticket prices for LSU next year. After LSU gets ripped by A&M, not before, after LSU gets ripped by A&M, Jeff Landry says that's ridiculous that you want to raise ticket prices, which it's his board. They're yes men. He obviously agreed to raise the ticket prices, and he's smart. Yes, let's raise them. They lose to A&M, I'll freak out, and then the board will rescind that, and that's exactly what happened. The board doesn't have autonomy. They didn't go vote that ticket pay raise without consulting with Jeff Landry, his board. That's how it is today. The board's not autonomous. Never really has been, but now it is overt. It is clearly not autonomous. So no, it's just funny Jeff Landry playing the game to the hilt. Yes, approve the ticket increase. A&M rips LSU. Publicly say, I can't believe the Board of Supervisors, wink, wink, that I control, would raise ticket prices. I'm against that. They need to not do that. And then a few hours later, the Board of Supervisors, would they vote on the phone over the weekend? They voted via email. We're not going to raise ticket prices. No, if LSU would have won, they would have slid that through. But because they lost, Landry's acting like, oh, that's crazy. So Landry is all over this. He's going to be one of the key people. The buck stops with him on the LSU coaching search. Now, I don't think Jeff Landry's naive, like he's going to pick the guy himself. He's going to let it get narrowed down to a choice, and then he's going to either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. He's really like mad about the whole thing. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. My role is about the fiscal effects of firing a coach under a terrible contract. All I care about is what the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for. And then asked, was he, part of the meeting to get Kelly pushed out, which he clearly was. Jeff Landry may have been the thing that pushed it over the top. One could argue Jeff Landry went into that meeting Sunday when who knows what Scott Woodward's plan was and pushed it over the top where you're firing this guy. But Landry says, no, I hosted a meeting at the governor's mansion to talk about the legalities, to talk about the cost, to talk about who pays for it, to talk about what the effects of it. It was a meeting to discuss the legalities of the contract. I'm not believing that for a second. Jeff Landry's not built that way. He wants to assert himself in every single thing. He controls all the boards around the state. He's changed the law to control the boards around the state. The last few legislative sessions, that's what this legislature did. So Jeff Landry's in full control. And Jeff Landry will ultimately give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on who the next coach is. But don't get your panties in a wad too much, because I don't think Jeff Landry, he's kind of like Mickey Loomis with the Saints. He lets the underlings narrow it down, and then he gives a thumbs up or thumbs down. I think most of the times it's going to be a thumbs up, whoever they decide, and Scott Woodward's not going to have a lot of input.
In that way, yes, but infinitely more vocal than Loomis. Like, he's going to let you know what he thinks at all times.
No doubt. And that's a great point.
He's just so involved with this. It seems honestly a little bit gross. And some people are saying that it might be a turnoff for some potential coaches, like just how involved the governor is.
Urban Meyer was mentioning that yesterday.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Glenn Guilbeau about that in the 5 o'clock powwow, Mario.
Yes, and I have very little respect for Urban Meyer, with everything they have for the Jaguars.
Yeah, but my God, he could win in college.
Yes, he was a great coach, and he brings up a good point here. I think I may agree with him here.
It's one of the greatest ever. You win a couple at Florida, then you go to Ohio State and win one there.
Yes.
LSU would be like a natural fit, but maybe half a generation ago, maybe like 5, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, no. And I'm sorry. I get that we sacrifice character. Coaches can be jerks. They can even have like a checkered past. But to me, Urban Meyer.
Just win, baby.
Yeah, publicly. He did not get on the plane with his professional team and cheated on his wife in a bar and got caught on video. Like you can't make that your head coach. I'm sorry.
Wow. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. He's our in-house sports specialist.
Also kicked his kicker, allegedly. So, yeah, no.
Wow. Kicked the kicker.
Yes. At a professional NFL practice, yes.
Mario, we get to check in with him for sports info all the time. It's a nice plus right here on the neutral ground. Plus, he's fielding your phone calls. It's 766-9480. 766-9480. Governor Jeff Landry. Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'd let Donald Trump do it before I'd let him do it. Jeff Landry, Louisiana governor, has absolutely no confidence in LSU athletic director Scott Woodward. And LSU doesn't have a president. And I'm sure Jeff Landry is going to be very instrumental in selecting that president. By the way, it's narrowed down to 4. Landry's guy, I think, is this guy, Wade Rousseau from McNeese. They also interviewed the provost from Alabama. That's just off. I don't know enough about any of this, but just on the surface, the Alabama guy would be the guy, right?
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Minutes of fun.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, right. Are you kidding with today's weather? My God, this is as good a day as it gets. Get outside already. Mario doesn't want to get outside because he says it messes up his hair, the breeze, the wind. But if you don't mind a little breeze, get outside. Absolutely gorgeous. Blue skies, breezy. I mean, like windy outside right now, but cool and comfortable. There you go, Mario. Cool and comfortable. Get outside and enjoy. I'm going to give you the weather, the temperature. I'm going to guess, play the weather game, the lame weather game, we call it. Mario Brothers, we call it the lame weather game. We're bringing it back. We get to pick the weather, temperature, and humidity. I'm going with 65 and it ain't no jive, and 50% humidity. So I'm 65 and 50. What do you got?
I'd go 68 and 55.
Wow, 68 fits the lame weather game where no one wins, including the listening audience. 65, Johnson nails the temperature. Mario Brothers is over. Let's see with the humidity. This will decide who the winner is. 46% humidity. Johnson says 50. Mario 55. Johnson's the winner of nothing.
Good call.
Ding, 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 ding. 46% humidity. Gotta love that. Let's head to the phone lines. 766-9480. Yeah, the lame weather game. Barry joins us in Slidell. What up, Barry?
What up, KJ?
What you say, bro?
64 on my dash on my car. I don't know how accurate it is, but you were pretty dang close.
Yeah. All I want to know is I beat Mario Brothers. It ain't about being right. It's about winning over Mario Brothers. We're very competitive at the neutral ground.
Yeah, I get you. I get it.
I'm
Hey,
joking. I don't want to beat Mario
I
Brothers.
NOLA.com headline. Jeff Landry said Scott Woodward will not be selecting the next the next head coach. My question is, of the 10,000 things wrong with Louisiana that the governor needs to be attending to, I'm just not sure why the LSU football coach is up there on that list.
Oh, no, because Jeff Landry wants to be involved in everything. It's just how he is. He is like a power freak. He's a lunatic on that. People that like it. People that don't hate him even worse. I'm kind of in the middle. It's like President Trump. Like, is it overboard? No doubt. Will Democrats take advantage of that when they're in control? No doubt. Is any of this a good thing? No. What you're saying is overall correct, Barry. I'm not trying to argue with you. My point is we have a broken political system in New Orleans. We have a broken political system in Louisiana. We have a broken political system nationwide. So Republican, Democrat, extreme, moderate, someone that's willing just to throw bricks at the glass house and knock out every window. One side of me is like irresponsible. Another side of me is it's so broken and dysfunctional. How do you change it in a major way? Whoever's in power next will change back a bunch of the stuff Trump just did, but some of the stuff Trump's doing, or Landry, is going to stick. And it was necessary and it works better. And it's a good thing. I'm not saying the method's right. It's like Doge, with Musk. He fire everybody. And then a week later, okay, bring 30% of them back because we need them and we made a mistake. Well, it's ridiculous and it causes turmoil, but ultimately down the road, maybe you have a more efficient system. So it's just so dysfunctional and broken. Kind of as an independent, neutral type of person, not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't welcome it, but I'm like, yeah, why the hell not? The old way wasn't working.
I voted for both of them. Voted for Trump 3 times. Voted for Landry this past time. And I'm not really, it's the big, and I know I probably have short-term memory. I just don't like the expansion of executive power. Yesterday, the Senate voted, I think in 54 to, I don't know what it was, but 4 Republicans or 5 Republicans voted to shoot down his tariffs. And it just made me so excited to see the executive branch be checked by another branch.
No, exactly. Like it's supposed to be. Like it's supposed to be. No, you're really smart on that, Barry, and you're right on the money. And when you're in power and things are going your way, people tend to be like, hey, we don't care if the rules are broken. It's a good thing. But if it was the opposite, they wouldn't like it. So that's what makes America great. It's not easy, but you have to follow the rules. You have to follow the Constitution. No, Trump is just, he tests it all the time. He loves going to the edge. What he can get away with, great. What he gets checked on, okay, I'll fight that. It's right up against the edge on everything. I mean, can you do a third term? Well, I don't know. Maybe I can do a third term. No, you can't. It's against the Constitution. So he loves that. But no, you're right on the money, Barry. And you're a conservative, so that's good that you see it objectively. You voted for Trump and Landry, and you still see it objectively. I voted for Jill Stein, Green Party. Wow.
At least you voted. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with it. I said it the same way when I thought it was overreach when Obama issued that EO about DACA, making all those people legal with a stroke of a pen. That was executive overreach. That's a legislative function. They should work together with the executive branch, and it was overreach. I just like to see that each branch and check each other. But the executive branch checks the legislative branch, and vice versa.
That's how it's supposed to work. And that's what sucks about the Supreme Court. Again, if you're conservative, you love it. In a generation or two, and no one that's a conservative today is worrying about this, but it is inevitable. It'll be a bunch of liberals on the court, and they'll go the opposite way, and conservatives will freak out. When it was 60 senators needed to approve a Supreme Court justice, not 50, it forced Democrats and Republicans to put up someone moderate. Now, Democrats and Republicans can put up someone extreme, and that's not good for the Supreme Court, where it's already got a president making the choice, a Democrat or Republican president. Ideology is going to lead the choice. It doesn't need to be extreme ideology. So with 50 senators being able to approve that instead of 60, that's another problem and sort of waters down our democracy a little bit. And what you're talking about, those 3 branches, checking each other, it makes the Supreme Court less. And if you have just no one checking on the president, like you just mentioned, a few Republicans went against him. No, that's what it's supposed to be.
Agreed. Love the show, brother. Take care, man.
Thanks, Barry. Barry and Slidell. Yeah, Governor Jeff Landry, big story of the day. I mean, not only is he's basically saying what I've been saying, that Scott Woodward, I said this, and Landry didn't say anything about this. I just said, Scott Woodward on Saturday said, Saturday night, Sunday, after the Texas A&M loss, I decided I was going to fire Brian Kelly. And I went on the air and said, Scott Woodward could have said that all day long. He made that public comment, and I don't think there's any truth to it. Scott Woodward doesn't have autonomy to fire Brian Kelly by himself. LSU Board of Supervisors, LSU president, even if he was the AD with full autonomy, still would have to get approval by the Board of Supervisors, at least a green light, if not a vote. And then the president of the university would have to give him a green light. And there is no president. So Jeff Landry got involved and is very involved, not just finding out details like he says. Could have done that on a phone call. He influenced the process. One could argue Jeff Landry said, no, we're not keeping this guy. You're firing Brian Kelly, and ultimately made the choice. And you could argue LSU folks were kind of hemming and hawing, not knowing which direction to go in. Well, if we can't get the buyout lower, we'll tell them to get rid of Sloan. If we get the buyout lower, we'll get rid of him. Landry may have to be like, no, we're not doing any of that. You're firing the guy. You're firing the guy. But Governor Jeff Landry definitively has said that Scott Woodward will not be making the call. Asked today, will LSU Athletic Director Scott Woodward select the next head football coach to replace Brian Kelly? Quote, no, I can tell you that right now. Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'd let Donald Trump select him before I'll let Scott Woodward do it. Now, he's not only saying Scott Woodward isn't making the call, he's basically saying Scott Woodward sucks. That's what Landry's saying. He's basically saying Scott Woodward sucks. And then he even says, my role is about the fiscal effects of firing a coach under a terrible contract. I mean, Scott Woodward, terrible contract. Now, right or wrong, that's what Landry's saying. And then he goes in all this nonsense. If billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But I got to go find out $53 million. It's not going to be a pleasant conversation. All I care about is what the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for. I mean, he knows none of this. If you know anything about LSU, you know taxpayers aren't on the hook for anything athletic oriented. Nothing. You'll know if they are. I mean, Mario, if anything is taxpayer finance, LSU lets you know.
100%.
Right away. Hell, the arena they're going to build.
Yep.
It's going to be nicer than the Smoothie King Center.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like $400-500 million. It's only going up in cost, by the way. The longer they wait, might be $600 million by the time. Not a taxpayer dime being spent on that. Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Long overdue for them to get a reputation.
Nutrition center. Did you and I, taxpayers, pay for that? Nope. Boosters. Everything sports.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Landry talking about? And then the last quote sums it up. When asked about, was the meeting about firing Kelly, being pushed out or not? No, I hosted a meeting at the governor's mansion to talk about the legalities, to talk about the costs, to talk about who pays for it, to talk about what the effects of it are. It was a meeting to discuss the legalities of the contract. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but when you're answering it with to talk about, you're just buying time and you're making up crap. And it wasn't about legalities of the contract. Could have done that over the phone. Could have got his flunkies. And I don't mean flunkies, the people underneath him that work for him to find that out. No, he sat down there and Jeff Landry's like, got to get rid of this guy. In my opinion, Jeff Landry said, no, you're firing Brian Kelly. Like I said, and one could argue LSU's AD athletic department was kind of hemming and hawing, not knowing what to do. And Landry's like, fire the guy. Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach, according to Governor Jeff Landry. Hell, I'd let Donald Trump do it before I'd let him do it. Hysterical. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program, 766-9480. LSU's president search continues. Not very important. Now, in reality, that's the more important search, the LSU president, not the head football coach. Clearly.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, We love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Following the facts.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Corey Johnson.
Wow. Welcome back. Wide Open Wednesday. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. Now, I saw Tim Brando posted something on Twitter. It's just about it's Louisiana and we do things differently here. And I love Tim Brando. I'll get Timmy B on the show. I need to get him on soon, actually. Should try to get him on maybe tomorrow or Friday. But also I think that's, and I'm old school like Timmy in a lot of ways, not quite as old school. He's a bigger percentage of old school than me. But I think that's sort of excuse making. I think, hey, we're just backwards ass in Louisiana is almost what he's saying. And that's how we do it here. And you just got to deal with it. It's like, I don't accept that. And I'm a New Orleans native, Louisiana native. I love Louisiana culture. I'm 25% Cajun and I'm a New Orleanian. It's like a tough combo to beat, I love it. I love Louisiana. I love New Orleans. I love LSU. I graduated from LSU. It's my school. I spent 6 years on the Baton Rouge campus, 6. Countless football, basketball, baseball. We used to go check out golf and crap. I mean, me and my buddies were crazy about sports up at LSU. But the governor being involved, I mean, like if it was, Wisconsin governor involved in the Wisconsin coaching search, coupled with LSU doesn't have a president of the school right now that would be instrumental in thumbs up or thumbs down. Because I know a lot of you are like, it's LSU's football. I know for a lot of you it is, but the U stands for university. It's a school first. Football's an incidental. Like if football went away, the school would still exist. If the school went away, football wouldn't exist. The school's the thing. Football's secondary, but not to most folks. Most folks at Saturday night in Tiger Stadium couldn't tell you where Lockett Hall is or Coates Hall. Middleton Library, no idea. Don't know where the bell tower is or the parade ground, but I know where the stadium is. No, Jeff Landry involved in the coaching decision is crazy. People are right about that. And Jeff Landry, more concerned about the football coaching search instead of the LSU president search. And the priority is we're getting a football coach maybe before we get an LSU president. And whoever the LSU president is, they're not really going to have much say either way on who the football coach is. Clearly, LSU athletics, That's the thing. We do that 110%. We kick ass. We take names. It's state of the art. It's world class. Best facilities, best teams, best coaches that money can buy, best players. It's state of the art. The best there is. There might be some programs equal, Oregon with facilities, but no one's better. No one's better. Not across the board, every sport. But at LSU academics, kind of an afterthought. I mean, look at fair and objective folks that rate academic schools. LSU's not in the top in the region, not even the SEC. The SEC is an athletic conference. And LSU's down at the bottom with like Ole Miss, Mississippi State. It's always bottom 3 or 4 in a 16-team sports league. Comparing sports schools to sports schools, we are bad academically, do poorly academically. I'm not going to sit here and say LSU's a terrible academic school. It's just painfully mediocre. Undergraduate studies at LSU are they're fine. They're fine. If we said the same thing about athletics, we'd be firing every coach. Fine is not acceptable for the LSU athletics, for the athletic programs. Fine is just fine for LSU academics. So no, this whole thing is screwed up in a lot of ways. LSU football fans are happy. Brian Kelly, we want him out. He's out. We're anticipating a great new coach coming in and success. That's all that matters. But outside the bubble of our love for LSU athletics, outside the bubble, it looks pretty weak. It's Louisiana doing its typical crap. They're worried about the LSU football coach more than the university president. And we all know that's just a fact. That's not like my opinion. No one out there is going, yeah, Corey, the university president is the bigger thing, but, we got to get a good football coach. It's like, no, the football coach is the big thing. I don't give a crap who the president is. No one cares who the president's going to be. Very, very concerned who the head football coach is going to be. And look, I'm very concerned about who the head football coach is going to be. But academics need to somehow, someday, become the primary focus for Louisiana people when it comes to LSU. Academics first. As good in physics as football. As good in physics as football. And that's not the case. And everybody knows it. We accept academics. They're pretty good. My kid went there. He's doing just fine. He got a degree. He's doing just fine. I got a degree from LSU. I'm doing just fine. Where would I be if LSU had better academics? I don't know. Maybe nowhere. Maybe somewhere farther down the line. Is it further or farther down the line, Mario? Further or farther down the line?
It's further, right?
It's further, I would think, because it's a degree. Even though we're talking about a line, it's not a physical line, which would be farther distance. Further a degree, farther distance. Probably learned that at Trinity on Jackson Avenue in 7th grade. Not at my 6 years at LSU.
There you go.
I love LSU, Mario. People think like I don't like LSU. I love it so much, I'm critical of it where it fails. I'm not a child with my head in the sand and just ignore the academic side, athletics. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, same way you are in New Orleans. I'm the same way, man. New Orleans kid, LSU degree on my wall. Like, yeah, we can be critical.
No, when we're children, our mom and dad know everything. When we become adults, we love our mom and dad more than when we were children.
Yes.
But we disagree with them and can argue with them or disagree.
Exactly. 100%.
And you love them more than when you agreed 100% when you were 5 years old.
Yes.
We're not children. We're adults. We have to take a critical view, critical thinking of New Orleans, of Louisiana, and LSU.
Yeah, you can't just paint sunshines and rainbows.
My God, especially when they're glaring problems.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good with anything right now. At LSU, New Orleans, government stuff, sports stuff, it's just not a good state of affairs right now.
That's why when we're talking about the LSU president search, this Wade Rousset guy at McNeese, I mean, would we hire the McNeese football coach to be the president at LSU? Yet we're considering the McNeese president to run the LSU system, which is mind-blowing to me. When would we ever hire a McNeese coach to coach anything at LSU? Guy would have to be there for 20 years and was the best volleyball coach or swimming coach, and then LSU might hire him. Wouldn't hire him for baseball, wouldn't hire him for basketball, wouldn't hire him for football, for crying out loud. But the McNeese guy might be the next LSU president. Happens to be like Landry's boy as well, you know? Landry's boy, like your boy who runs Coastal Restoration. That joker, you know, no expertise, and it doesn't know anything about it. He runs the Coastal Restoration. He's the one canceling Coastal Restoration projects. No, it's a yes guy to Jeff Landry. This Wade Rousset guy from McNeese, I mean, not qualified for the gig. He's coming from McNeese. This Alabama provost, James Bolton, that might be the guy. Dalton, James Dalton. That might be the guy. Because I'm like, Alabama, when I was at LSU, had 18,000 students. LSU had about 32,000. And then before Nick Saban, it wasn't an Alabama Nick Saban thing. That accelerated it. It started 5, 8, 10 years before Saban. We're going to bring in national merit scholars. Alabama has more national merit scholars than any public university in the country. They went from 18,000 students to 20 to 25 to 30 to passing LSU. They have nearly 40,000 students in Tuscaloosa. LSU was stuck at 32,000 for decades. Throughout all of this Alabama growth, LSU stayed around 32,000 students. Now, recently, LSU's, wow, we can increase the size of the student body and make more money and build more buildings and dorms and make the school better, hire professors, all of that. More students, more money, let's go. So now there's about 36,000. But Alabama has more than doubled in size in enrollment in the last 30 years, more than doubled in size. And LSU has just gained a few people. So, yeah, I would want to follow Alabama. Like my 18-year-old niece said, she's now married and lives in Birmingham and, you know, married an Alabama guy. She went to Alabama when she was 18. Why are you and your friends from New Orleans go to Alabama, not LSU? Oh, we all wanted to go to LSU. But when we went and visited the campus, all the buildings were old and it was dirty. And I'm like, what about Alabama? Oh, just new buildings everywhere. And it's so clean. That's just, you can say that's naive. That's silly. That's her perspective. She went to Alabama, got married to a guy from Alabama, lives in Birmingham, works for Boeing. You know, how many people come to Louisiana, stay in Louisiana and work for major corporation? Just a different deal. Alabama, I'm not saying they have the best academics, but they dramatically improved academics. They focused on academics. They used athletics to drive enrollment and academics. LSU uses athletics to drive athletics. No, get the Alabama guy. Now, I talk about UNO. Go get the Central Florida or South Florida. Those people, the number 2 at those places, because those schools, I think one of them has like 55,000 students. The other has like 70,000. They're not commuter schools anymore. They haven't been that way for decades. And they have much larger enrollment than Florida State or Florida. No, UNO should be a monster, and you hire the best. New Orleans needs a tourism person. You go to Vegas or Orlando and get their number 2. You know, that kind of thing. LSU needs a president. Go someplace that's got explosive enrollment and has increased academics dramatically and was similar to LSU. University of Alabama, get that guy. Not the McNeese guy. Wouldn't hire the McNeese guy for sports, would you? Hey, we're hiring the McNeese head football coach to be the LSU head football coach. Yeah, go in that direction. See how well that goes over. Wide Open Wednesday. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. 766-9480. Dial us up.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday. Mario Brothers, I had to post it earlier. You saw that tweet about, I have to laugh.
Yes, I had to laugh too. I'll be honest with you, Corey. I was going to tell you this off air, but I'll tell you on air. Like, I know you don't really care much about like the pettiness and the looking good on the internet, but you making the people that you made look dumb on that post and the days following kind of made my week.
You're talking about the dozens and dozens of people like, don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
This isn't real. You're making it up.
Yeah,
what sources?
I won't say names, but the people in the media that just immediately refuted you, and then all the people writing them in the comments, like for no reason.
No, what's funny is, I mean, I didn't want to post it while it was going down, you know, because it's like, I don't want to distract from the story.
Yep.
But talking about the buyout for Brian Kelly, that it's less than 50% of the 53 million. And it's basically agreed upon. Right now it is. It may be signed, it may not be. Verbally, it is done. It's over with. Brian Kelly's not going back to the facility. There's no more negotiating. It's done. And LSU kind of played hardball. They brought up that moral turpitude part of the contract. And obviously Kelly is not refuting it because they've decided. So there's starting to be stories coming out verifying that essentially. And